Hi, I'm Scott,
And I'm Luke.
and we're Android guys,
Give us 5 to 10 minutes of your day
and we'll tell you about a product or service.
or an app that you might be interested in. Hey, this is Luke with another Android Guys podcast. I'm here with Scott. Scott, what do you have today?
Today, I'm going to talk to you about the Bonobuds Lite.
Okay.
So we recently talked about the Bonobuds.
Yes.
These are the light version of them.
Okay.
And there are just a few changes between them. These are $10 less than the standard Bonobuds. And there is a kind of there's a conversation to have as to whether I would recommend one over the other.
Interesting.
Normally, it's a simple thing of like, hey, for $10 more, get these.
Sure.
Don't go with the Lite, get the full version.
Sure.
But there is a little bit of a trade-off. There is something you'll give up by going with the standard version.
Interesting. All right. Well, let's take a break and then let's get into it.
You got it.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Scott, we are talking about the Phiaton Bonobud Lights. And you said they're only $10 cheaper than the original Bonobuds, but there might be a reason, other than saving money,
Yes.
to not go for the extra expense.
Yep.
Tell us, what do you think?
So these have the same overall, like, kind of general design.
Yeah.
They are wireless earbuds go in. These don't have quite the smooth, round bean shape.
Okay.
But they're from the same line. You can definitely tell they're from the same family.
Sure.
These are available in black and white,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the standard version also come in blue.
Okay.
So some of the features you're going to find are the same as the standard Bonobud. So if you happen to catch that episode or check our review out, you'll find that some of these features are the same.
Mm-hmm.
These are IPX4 rated against sweat, water, splashes, things from like workout or rain.
Sure.
These have USB-C charging.
Yeah.
These have touch controls that you can use to access, to pause your music, take calls. You can use them for Google Assistant.
Yeah.
And do the different things that way. They will, let's see, a couple of things here. They have an app that you can go in, and I didn't mention this on the other ones, but there is a Phiaton app that you can kind of go in and play with the equalizer settings.
Okay, kind of make some custom settings.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
These have multiple microphones, so if you wanted to do like active noise cancellation,
Sure.
they have echo cancellation, noise reduction on this model.
Okay.
Which is kind of like that version or a different version of that.
Yeah.
This also has ambient mode, so if you're listening to your music while you're in an environment where you might need to hear somebody call your name for your coffee order, or hey dad, if you need to be accessible and not completely drown them out to your music.
Right.
Couple of the differences that you'll find. These have a 5.8 millimeter driver.
Okay.
Whereas the standard ones have a 12 millimeter.
Okay, so a little less.
So what that does is you're not going to get quite the sound.
Uh-huh.
And it's not a big deal breaker.
Uh-huh.
But there is a little bit more sound, a little bit more robust sound in the standard version.
Uh-huh.
These also have charging. They're going to take about an hour and a half to charge up.
Okay.
These do not have the quick charging capability of the standard one.
Okay.
So that might be a reason to spend the extra $10 if you want that. Hey, I've only got 10 minutes to go.
Sure.
You can plug those in and get an hour of playback. That's not the case here. However, the big difference with this one is this gives you 11 hours of playback in the earbud, plus another 17 in the case.
Wow.
So you're actually getting 28 hours rated of audio through the Lite version.
Wow. That's 1.5 times. Yeah.
It's almost 50% more audio or playback time.
That's a big difference. I mean, that has to be because of the driver size. It's just not using as much power to deliver the sound.
Right.
Interesting. Okay. So $10.
Yep. So that's the thing where how important is it to you to have, audio? I'm looking at a $40 to $50 pair of earbuds.
Sure.
A lot of times the users, people aren't really overly concerned with how good that audio is. And maybe a 5.8 or 6 millimeter driver isn't going to be as noticeable, to the 12. It's kind of like those discerning ears kind of thing.
Sure.
Audiophiles definitely might pick up the differences and the nuances and, some of the other things that come with a bigger profile.
Yeah, there might be something to the amount of ambient or, active noise canceling that's drowned out with a bigger driver.
Right.
It might be a little bit more isolating. There could be an argument for that, but.
And that may be a case of the enhanced or the echo cancellation.
Sure.
Here versus active noise cancellation.
Sure.
Where that may be one of those things where it's not the same technology,
right,
but it's close enough for people. So if you don't care about the blue color,
yep,
and you don't care about fast charging, I feel like a lot of people would be happy with the Bonobuds Lite.
Sure.
But again, for $10 more, you pick up those features, bigger, better sound, and it's a toss up, really.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to if you really crave more true sound or if you really crave not having to charge your device as much.
Right.
It's kind of, those are the differences. It's interesting to me, that price point, because we have seen the original Bonobuds on sale for the same price.
Right.
So I don't know. I maybe would have liked to see these a little cheaper. Possibly.
Yeah. On their normal retail price, these are $50 and the other are $60. Whereas I've seen the other ones as low as $50 at one point.
Right.
And that's not to say these might have been, dropped at the same time. I just didn't happen to catch that.
Now, all that said, the Bonobuds Lite for $50, I still think that's a great headphone for $50.
Absolutely.
A great earbud.
Absolutely.
But, for $10 more, yeah, it really comes down to like you said, do you want battery or audio?
Mm-hmm. Now, one thing I'll point out, just because I'm looking at it here on Amazon, I was checking the price. Amazon does say 1 hour playback with a 10-minute charge, but their website does not say that.
Okay.
And I did not try that to see what it does because I never truly depleted the battery.
Right.
So, and when I tend to charge my earbuds, it's a case of I'm just going to plug them in when I leave the office, and tomorrow I'll come back and unplug them. Or I'll do this overnight when I'm charging my phone. Never really pay attention to that 10 minutes. These are just as equally comfortable, lightweight, kind of the same buttons to kind of figure out when you're, play, pause, volume, things like that. So I would say one or the other. You can't go wrong with either if that's your budget, your price point.
Yeah.
And we had the white pair come through the office here, and they've got like a little bit of a red.
Like a little accent color.
Yeah,
that's
and then
nice.
There are some other colors when you get the other earbuds. They come with like one had like a yellow.
Oh, okay.
So you could tell by looking at them which size they were.
Nice.
Like if the standard one doesn't fit you,
sure.
There's other sets that you could put in.
Yeah, and we've said, this Phiaton is a brand that we've worked with in the past, and it's a quality brand. So, either one's probably going to get you, but it's nice to know that the lights have a good battery life.
Yeah. Sometimes when people just buy the cheapest earbuds they can find, or they think like, just give me something, I don't care. You're getting a little bit more than that here. And I would say if you're looking at that $30 pair of earbuds on Amazon, I would say, hey, maybe a little bit of extra consideration for this particular brand, just because, hey, I trust them. I've enjoyed some of their products in the past, and I think that both these are definitely worth the price.
Awesome. Thanks, Scott.
You're welcome. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feedback, concerns, comments, anything, shoot us an email at podcast@AndroidGuys.com. We'd love to hear from you one way or the other. Luke, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Luke Gaul, Gaul.
And I'm on Instagram at Scott Webster. and Twitter as swebster77. Until next time, thanks for listening.
See ya.